What was so going back to your career, what was the best moment? What was the toughest one?
I have a couple best moments, but I would definitely say being drafted was super cool. I got drafted right next to Brandon Chastain, which was like one of my idols. And then obviously the bronze medal at the Olympics, just being at the Olympics was like a pinch
Did
me
you chew
moment.
it? I did.
I didn't do that. But I was like, I should have took a picture like that. But there's so many incredible memories from that. And then making the World Cup roster, because that's every footballer's dream. It's, 18 people get selected from your country and not, so, and it was in Canada too, which made it even cooler.
Extra special.
Yeah, except for we did have to play on turf. So all you men out there always complaining about playing on turf, listen up.
And now you turned your ACL.
Yeah, I mean, I did it right before, so I would say that would be one of the hardest moments. Is I was coming off, my coach is like, "This is the best I've ever seen you play," and I was about to sign for Man City. Tore the ACL, and World Cup was the following year. This was February of 2014, and I was like, I was feeling so good, and I'm like, I'm gonna go play for Man City, blah, 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 it's gonna be awesome, and blah, blah. Boom, wake up call. And it was the hardest year of my life. Because you just go into this like little crazy bubble by yourself and you're away from the team. You're in cornfields in Wisconsin, all alone. And I had a really bad recovery, getting blood clots and like almost dying from MRSA.
Almost dying?
Yeah, from a staph infection. It was just like one thing after another.
What happened?
Then I had to relearn how to run. I got a bad staph infection. No, it actually was just from a cut. It was like one thing after another, it was just kind of like that snowball effect. And yeah, it was like directly to my heart. I was in the hospital for a couple weeks. It was, yeah. So mentally, it's very draining because you have everybody being like, they're not the same player after they tear their ACL. They're not going to make it back. Like, she's washed. And you're just like, I just think I'm just getting started, And I had to relearn how to run because my club team was pushing me one way, but I wasn't ready at that point. And then when I went to camp, they're like, what is wrong with you? And I was like, I was trying to tell them, and so I had to stop for 2 months, then relearn how to run. It was a whole process, but I made it back in time, made the World Cup roster and started every game. And yeah. And then also the big moment in the quarterfinals when I fell was probably one of the worst moments too. I slipped and I fell and we lost 2-1 to England. And that was a bad moment for, the fans as well. And I felt that on social media and death threats in the street. And it's just, it was a really, really hard time for me in my life because I was playing so well and had such a great, Olympics, and then made it back in time, was crushing it, the World Cup. And then this happens in the quarterfinals. Granted, it's not just one person, but they watered the turf. Turf was very slippery. Everybody was falling. Everyone that's watched probably could see everybody was falling. And I don't know why they watered it. And yeah, but that turned that moment into something good in the future because I had a little girl come up to me. She's like, I saw you fell in the World Cup and you handled it so well. And it made me feel like when I made mistakes that it was okay because everybody makes mistakes, even pros like you. And so now I talk about that a lot with the youth and, getting back up after you fall. And I had a hard few years after that. I went to a very deep, dark depression, had a lot of concussions, almost took my life. Yeah. I can now talk about it without like crying, but like used to just like, I was in a very dark place.
Because of that moment?
But I also found out I had severe concussions because I got hit in the head a lot as a defender, had my head cracked open like 4 times, got my head checked by this specialist because my brain chemistry just felt like it had completely shifted into a negative headspace. I was randomly crying. I was negative all the time. I was angry. And I was like, this is completely opposite of how I am. I'm like, my parents were like, what is wrong with you? I was like, that is a really good question. And I was fortunate enough to go to the Amen clinics here in LA where they do a lot of brain studies. And they did the scan, and they're like, okay, this is your brain. This is an NFL player's brain who's had a ton of concussions like you, but wears a helmet. And it was very similar. And he's like, the reason why you're feeling that way is the blood is not flowing to the frontal part of your head where those emotions are. And yeah, I had a really bad night one night, and it was a very dark time. But now I use that as motivation, and I talk openly about it and have helped a lot of people. And I'm a huge advocate for mental health. And that's why I work with players around the world right now. I work with a nonprofit called Footballer Life. And we just did some work in Kenya. We have a documentary coming out. I literally am an open book on social media. People can just message me if they are feeling, doesn't matter who they are, doesn't have to be an athlete, if they want to just talk. I've lost a lot of friends to suicide, so I'm very open with talking about it. And I feel like that's the biggest thing in sport. I mean, especially as a male player in your shoes, we're taught not to show any type of emotion. I know it's harder for men sometimes.
Yeah, so I thanks for sharing, by the way. It resonates with me too, because I had a pretty bad concussion in 21, my last year in Orlando, and one of those that you don't remember anything. Obviously, I couldn't see the people's faces right after the hit. Very scary. I threw up multiple times, and I was like drunk for 4 or 5 days. That that you're trying to walk and you don't know where you are.
Mm-hmm.
And to your point, there was days that you don't feel like yourself, and when you don't feel like yourself, you just get more scared and more scared, and you get into that loophole. It's like, hey, if this keeps continuing like this, is it worth it?
Yeah.
Right. So I completely understand how you were going through.
And you couldn't show or say that because we had to be tough. We had to be like, your coach is like, you're ready, right? And you're like, yeah, I'm ready. I can play. And but on the men's side, I feel like they're a little bit more vulnerable. They don't know, they feel like they can't open up and talk about how they're feeling. And you probably just had to act like super tough. And
and then it goes against you because you don't perform the same. Exactly. You don't feel the same. And also, like, each person is different, and when you say, hey, I think I have a concussion, or I have a concussion, at the end of the day, people are like, okay, if, it's not measurable. It's not like you have an ACL, okay, it's 9 months or 11 months, right? It's just you don't know when you're going to recover. So it's like you are in that spot that is like, hey, how are you feeling better? And literally no, but like, a little bit better. And you kind of go through those. So concussions are definitely a pretty big thing and real. Mm-hmm. So going from that place, which was when you had the ACL, then being able to be on the World Cup right after that, when everybody said you wouldn't be the same, was awesome, right? Then going back down again when you make that mistake, it's not even a mistake, it's just you slid, right? Things happen. Maybe there's nobody talks about the striker that had the opportunity to score the goal and they didn't, right? Yeah. So
we had a lot of open shots, but it's okay. You win as a team and as you lose as a team.
Correct. So to that point, we cannot make ourselves the only point of even success or for the worst. But I think this shows something that it's a beautiful thing with just life. It's just you go up and down, and the fact that even it took you a little bit of time to recover after that, now you are here more bright than ever. And now you, after you retire, you become a superstar. I wanna know more about this side now.
So I was like, what do I do when I'm done? I really hadn't thought about it because I thought I was going to do another cycle. And then I was kind of like, okay, maybe this is the time. I was, getting up there in age. I still wanted to have kids and all that stuff. So I was kind of like, maybe this is the right time to kind of just like walk away and start something else. And I always wanted to be in broadcasting or on TV in some capacity. I grew up in theater. I love to sing. So
in theater?
I'm a huge theater kid. I used to do a lot of musicals. And so I've always loved as you can tell, I have like a big personality. I'm a goofball, like whatever. So I'm very animated. So you can probably tell that that's something from my past life. And it kind of has helped me transition into what I'm doing now.
So you said that you are a good singer, right?
I love singing.
Can you sing us something?
Oh my gosh, now you put me on the spot. But I do have some on my Instagram. People can go.
What's your favorite song to sing?
I love Rent. I don't know. Do you follow Broadway? Are you do you know Broadway a little bit?
I don't, but can you?
Maybe next time. I'm a little shy now. You put me on the spot. Maybe I'll throw a little something at the end.
Okay.
But so we're out making some music right now. So, which is something a lot of people don't even know that about me. So, and now I was like, okay, I'll move to LA because I felt like a lot of athletes were coming out here to do something in TV. And I didn't really know the path. I was like, I'll go try it. And so I thought I wanted to do broadcasting. I worked for Fox for the 2019 World Cup. It was amazing. Had a great time. I learned so much, but realized that I like more of like the funny, goofy, allow me to be like Lauren.
Be more you
instead of being like, and did you see that goal? Oh, that was great. That was a great up or not. It's too regimented for me. And I wanted my personality to shine through and I wanted to be able to say whatever I wanted to say. So I had two sports podcasts that were huge. Got to interview some amazing people, some of my favorite people. And now I do a lot of like on-air hosting. I love, mingling with the fans, dancing with the fans, getting all goofy, asking them questions and just having fun with it. So I feel like that's kind of more my lane that I've been stepping into. And then I've been doing a lot of acting here and there, which is not something I thought I was going to be doing, but I've always kind of been in it since around 2012, 2014 or around that area. I started acting in a few movies, a few horror films. You'll see me.
Horror films?
Yeah, the blonde always dies first. So yes, of course I die a few times. But so I've done a few horror films and then really got into like stunt work out here. So I do a lot of stunt work, any sports, mostly soccer, but I've done some basketball, some other stuff as well.
What do you do? Like
with the stunts?
Yeah.
So if you see someone getting their leg broken or slide tackles, it's usually us, the body double, coming in and doing that stunt. And then they'll put in like the actor, their face, but it's like our body doing the stunt.
Okay, so you are the one getting injured?
Yeah, I'm the one that's injuring people mostly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I like to injure the people.
That's fun.
Yeah.
And they pay you for that?
Yes, you get paid for it.
Unbelievable.
It's great. And then I just got asked to do fight scenes, so I might attempt to get into fight scenes a little bit. So yeah, one of the guys was like, you would be really good at doing fight scenes. And I was like, okay, let's try it. So I might learn that. But I grew up in the middle of nowhere. So like my dad taught me how to hunt, fish. Like I can do a lot of things that people don't know. So I have many talents, or at least I tell myself. And I'm starting a clothing line. I've become like an entrepreneur. So we're trying different things, and I feel like I don't want to work for people anymore. I want to work for myself. So I do a lot of the freelance stuff, the content creation, which has been super fun, especially with these 2 World Cups coming up and then the Olympics here. But my passion is helping the next generation. I did a little bit of agent work, so I advise a lot of players, youth and professional, try to help them.
Still now?
Mm-hmm. Yep. I've worked with some really amazing people. And to learn the business and also learn that the business is not so great. But I also, that's why I want to change that narrative, because I want to be somebody who people can trust, in a safe space. So that's a whole other podcast on that. But so I work with a lot of players that are up and coming, and then we're building youth academies around the world right now. We're building one in Belize, and then we have goals for Spain, Italy, Switzerland, US, Canada. So we're doing that. And then, as I said, I'm working with the nonprofit and helping a lot of those players just live out their dreams of playing pro one day. So
I love
just connecting them to teams within Europe or here in the US. So
it's very interesting because as an athlete, when you do something for so long, which is playing, when you transition, when you retire, people know you because you are a professional soccer player.
That's your identity.
That's your identity, right? And it seems like you really transition in a good way. You find your passion.
It took some time.
It took some time.
It took a lot of time, actually.
It took some time.
Yeah, it did. I think I always knew what I wanted to do, but like figuring out how to do that because I didn't have anybody helping me figure it out. So it's been slow for a little bit, but now it's like coming to head where it's like, okay, I feel like I'm in my groove.
What would you say to the athletes that are about to retire?
Yeah, I think the transition is one of the hardest things that we go through. It's just, that's our livelihood since we were so young. It's what we identify. It's what everybody identifies us as. And when that's like taken away, it's kind of like, who am I? And it's, it's a grieving process. You grieve that part of your career, but also it's a new door opening to so many incredible things. I think as a female, and you could say yes or no to this, but for us, I think because we always had to have like second jobs and all that stuff, I was kind of always thinking about what other things I might have passions in, I might want to do. I don't know, on the men's side, I feel like sometimes they don't think that way because they're like, this is who I am. I'm making that money. Like after I retire, I'm still going to have money. I'm good,
Yeah,
I don't know.
No, I would say most of the cases you are right. Yeah. It's like I'm going all focus on this and then we'll see what's going to happen.
Yeah.
In my case particularly, I think I always wanted to do something else right after. Even I was like very passionate on the sports business side.
And look at what you're doing. Some amazing stuff.
I'm trying, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, you are absolutely right. There's a lot of people that they just play and then we'll figure out what's next.
Yeah, but I think just...
So you don't develop anything until you are 34, 35, whenever you retire, and all of a sudden it's like, oh shit, what do I do now? What can I add value here? There's a lot of people that they have already like 10, 12 years of experience ahead of you. And that's a whole conversation there.
Yeah, I think I kind of looked at what was missing throughout my career. And I was like, I really want to like input myself into those situations to be able to have these people not like this next generation not have to go through what I went through or, feel a little bit safer or have more opportunities and stuff like that. So I started like kind of sitting with that and being like, where could I insert myself and, give the most back?
For example, with myself, what happened was that when I retire, obviously you don't have that experience, but I had to find experience trying things.
Yeah, exactly.
And then all of a sudden you're becoming more an expert and you understand better that specific niche that you're looking for and you're trying.
Yeah.
And with that, to your point, now you are already like in a way better place than when you just finished. But because I think you did a lot of things and try and had that personal experience about.
Yeah, and that's what I always say to the youth. Like there's so many different facets if you want to stay in sport or whatever you want to do, and just try things and see what kind of sticks with you and yeah. So it's been fun, and I get to do a lot of exciting up and coming projects.